Hello and welcome to Media Diversified. This is Sam.
And this is Marcus.
Hello. So, this week, Media Diversified, you may have noticed, I have joined as an editor.
Yes, Marcus is the new editor-in-chief of Media Diversified.
And it's been quite an interesting week, so I hope you've been staying tuned to the MediaDiversified.org, where we've had some great articles coming out for you. Also, we went along to the Race Beat, didn't we, last week?
Yeah.
This is a space for people of colour working or interested in the media to discuss journalism, race and newsroom politics. There was Gary Young from The Guardian.
And Maya
Goodfellow. So they had a panel there. I think it was extremely interesting. Gary in particular was talking about some of his experiences, and he was saying in the olden days they let you write about race or not about race, but you couldn't mix it up. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, he was interested and a little bit, reflective on that, but also maybe a bit annoyed that he went through that experience.
Yeah. So that was interesting. However, there was a feeling that things are changing, but as we pointed out this week, the media is still 95% white.
Mostly middle class.
Yes. Mainly based in a city, London, which is 40% people of colour.
And also, though, they've mostly gone to sort of red brick universities, your Oxford and Cambridge. Even your voice of the working class, Owen Jones, went to Oxford, didn't he?
He did. So I thought that was interesting. It was good to see some young people of colour there. Support their work. It's the Race Beat on Twitter, and get involved if you're in that arena and are a person of colour.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I would say, which is something I said to Gary at the time, it's good to share other people's work, other writers of colour, black people, Asian, Muslim, working class people, because who is the mainstream if we're all sharing each other's work and getting it out there and getting people reading it,
Yeah, exactly. So share that with your colleagues and peers. If you see they've got an article out, share the love, is what I always say.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
So, we'll go on to Twitter Beef of the Week. And I think my Twitter Beef of the Week this week has been with Hillary Clinton. So, she was interviewed in The Guardian, and let's quote, she said, "I think Europe needs to get a handle on migration because that is what lit the flame of populism." And she also said that Europe should say that we are no longer going to provide refuge and support because if Europe does not deal with the migration issue, it will continue to roll the body politic.
Oh, good Lord.
Now,
did she mention the words all white supremacy?
No.
No, of course not.
No. Now, I don't know about you, but Hillary Clinton, in her role as Secretary of State, wasn't it, is actually responsible for some of these refugee crises, okay? So I think A, that's a little bit rich, and B, this sounds to me like victim blaming, okay? So instead of doing the hard work of anti-racism and selling the benefits of migration, because again, she conflated asylum and migration,
right?
Which are two different things.
Yeah.
She kind of talks about it in one big thing.
That's a very far right trope to do, isn't it?
It's a very far right trope. And basically, she sounded like Steve Bannon to me.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Maybe they're meeting behind the scenes. Who knows? He does get about, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does get about. Yeah. So that was my main Twitter beef of the week.
Absolutely. Do you know, there's this quote, I can't remember who it's by, but it's something I tweet out quite a bit, and it says, it's something like, if you do not understand white supremacy, everything else will confuse you.
Yes. Well, that's a good quote.
It is a good quote, isn't it?
That's
and
a very good quote.
So true.
Because what she is doing, she is echoing white supremacy there. She's saying people are riled up by the number of immigrants coming into their country.
And immigrants she classes as non-white, because obviously there's a lot of white immigrants. In fact, half of Britain has moved to Spain, I think. That's all they will do now Brexit's coming.
And also, a lot of white Americans do come over to Europe to work in banking or other sectors. Hillary is not talking about them, is she? right? So this is racialized, and to me it feels like victim blaming. You're blaming the migrants instead of blaming racism. If you look at some of these countries, they're
and imperialism.
Imperialism, yeah. If you look at some of these countries, birth rates are plummeting. You know, look at Italy's birth rate. Google it. There's a graph. It's going like that. Look at the UK, where we have thousands of NHS vacancies, which at the moment are staying unfilled because the government doesn't want to admit migrants. So to me, this is pandering to white supremacy. I can't say I'm that surprised, to be honest. I'm also not surprised that Tony Blair appeared to agree with her. So there you go, our great leader.
Isn't there any crisis that Tony Blair can't make even worse?
Yeah. Somebody said to me on Twitter, you know, if you want to judge the morality of something, yeah, you do the opposite of what Tony Blair does. Okay? You come out with the opposite opinion and you'll be fine.
There's got to be a term for that. Maybe we'll think of it for next time. Tony Blairism.
We'll think of that. So that was our main Twitter beef of the week. So, new articles this week. I hope you've checked MediaDiversified.org. So we had a personal essay from Salma Ibrahim, who's discussing her experiences as a woman of colour on London's literary scene. So she's created an organisation called Literary Natives, worth checking out. We also had an article from the US about political class factionalism in the Republican Party and the right-wing takeover, which was very interesting.
Oh, he's so great, Ronald. I love Ronald. Ronald to me, he's the revolutionary in a cardigan.
Yeah.
Because he's a lecturer, I think, in political economy, or so, I'm not entirely sure, in America.
Yeah.
And his picture, he's a lovely sort of old gentleman. Old, I won't say old, I don't know. You're as young as you feel. But anyway, he wears a cardigan and he's a revolutionary.
I like that, cardigan revolutionary. We need more people like that. What I found it interesting, the article, and I knew this had happened, was how the Republicans and the Democrats switched platforms. And I knew this had happened, but he kind of took us through that history, and it was still going on, you know, into the Reagan era, which I didn't even know about that. So I thought it was fascinating. So a good one to read if you get yourself a coffee, read that. It's a long read, but it's a good one. We also posted an article about the study of music and how that has been whitewashed, which is very interesting. It was discussing how there's academics studying music without actually mentioning any black artists.
Absolutely.
I have absolutely no idea how you can do that, and especially if you're studying pop music. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, was that much? Oh my god. Well, I mean, I did GCSE A level and GCSE music and A level music, and no, we didn't actually study any black composers that I remember. I do remember we listened to Porgy and Bess once, but that is about
that was it. Yeah. That was it. So fascinating perspective, and just yesterday we published a response from Joseph Guthrie. Yeah. And that was to Theresa May's letter inviting us to all get behind Brexit.
Brexit chaos.
Brexit chaos. And I think Joseph did an extremely scathing response. He came with lots of receipts. So if you read the article, click on all the links because there's just receipts galore about the funding of the Leave campaign, you know, the premise that we were sold about Brexit, and I think
it's a fantastic piece, like a scathing polemic, and I love some of the reactions on Twitter. We had somebody said that is a dragging, and somebody else called it Theresa May's a waste man. After reading Joseph's piece, so I think it's fantastic.
So forget the commentary in the Times and the Guardian. Come to Media Diversified and see Theresa May get dragged. Okay. So those are our main articles. So again, go to MediaDiversified.org.
Hang on. There's one more article.
What was that?
The one that I wrote.
Now, Sam wrote an article, and that was around creators of colour. She looked at a number of plays. For example, there was
Forgotten by Daniel York.
Yes.
Who's also written some great articles for us. There was Misty with Arins Kene as the main person and writer and performer in that, but also his director Omar Elarian.
I loved Misty.
Misty was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
So good.
I think the run's finished now.
Yeah, it's finished. I went to it last night, actually.
Did
I was
you?
good. Yeah, I met Daniel Kaluuya.
Did you? She met Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, I get about, which I write about in the article. Hopefully he doesn't know that.
That's the guy off Get Out.
Get Out,
And also,
Black Panther.
Also, he was in Widows, and I saw that on Saturday. And Widows is fantastic.
Oh, I need to see that.
Go and see it.
Okay.
Definitely go and see it. It's got Viola Davis, but it's got a fantastic ensemble cast. It's brilliant. It's got Daniel. It's got who's the Irish guy?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. The whole cast is great. You should definitely go and see it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of The Wire. I think
Ooh.
it did. I think season 3 when they had the mayor.
That
kind of thing.
I forget his name. Yeah.
The kind of relationship between politics and crime. It was really, really good.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah.
So institutions, because The Wire is a lot about just crumbling institutions and how they can have, they can really do bad things to you.
It reminded me a lot of The Wire. So.
Okay.
And it was in a compact film, so really, really
I can't wait. I
yeah.
cannot wait.
And also, there's lots of great car chases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a
I have a bit of that. Yeah.
So coming up soon, you'll be seeing a Kickstarter from us as we look to raise funds for the next era of Media Diversified. So we appreciate your support and generosity, and also we'll be looking for contributions from writers. If you've written for us before, let us know if you'd like to pitch for us. info@mediadiversified.org, or let me know on Twitter. And if you've not written for us before, please pitch for us and give us some examples of work that you have, or contact us on info@mediadiversified.org if you've got any ideas.